the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in the binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No mic, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune and turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. In shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go.
From the point of view of semantics, errors must be accidents. If in the extension of horse there are no cows, then it cannot be required for the meaning of horse that cows be called horses. On the other hand, if horse did not mean that which it means, and if it were an error for horses, it would never be possible for a cow to be called horse. Putting the two things together, it can be seen that the possibility of falsely saying this is a horse presupposes the existence of a semantic basis for saying it truly, but not vice versa. If we put this in terms of the crude causal theory, the fact that cows cause one to say horse depends on the fact that horses cause one to say horse, but the fact that horses cause one to say horse does not depend on the fact that cows cause one to say horse. Jerry Fodor. Jerry Fodor was a highly influential American philosopher and cognitive scientist, best known for his foundational contributions to the philosophy of mind. He championed the representational theory of mind, arguing that thinking involves computations over innate, language-like mental representations mentales. Fodor also proposed the modularity of mind, suggesting that certain cognitive processes, like perception and language, operate through specialized, informationally encapsulated modules. Jerry Fodor's early life laid the groundwork for his seminal work in philosophy and cognitive science. Born in New York City on April 22, 1935, he pursued his undergraduate studies at Columbia University, graduating in 1956. He then went on to earn his Ph.D. in philosophy from Princeton University in 1960. His academic career began at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology MIT in 1959, initially as an instructor and then as an assistant professor from 1961. This period at MIT, where he remained until 1986, was highly influential, as he was closely involved with the burgeoning field of cognitive science and worked alongside figures like Noam Chomsky, whose linguistic theories had a significant impact on Fodor's own development of ideas like mentalace and the modularity of mind. He also collaborated with his second wife, linguist Janet Dean, in his early work. Psychological Explanation, An Introduction to the Philosophy of Psychology 1968, an earlier work that served as an introduction to the philosophy of psychology. The Language of Thought 1975, this is arguably his most famous and foundational work, where he first extensively laid out the language of thought mentalace hypothesis. While we discussed mentalace, the book title itself wasn't mentioned. Representations, Philosophical Essays on the Foundations of Cognitive Science 1981, a collection of essays on the foundational issues in cognitive science. The Modularity of Mind 1983, this book introduced and developed his influential theory of cognitive modules. While we discussed the modularity of mind concept, the specific book title wasn't listed. Jerry Fodor's career post-MIT, particularly his extensive period at Rutgers University, saw him solidify his position as a dominant, albeit often controversial, figure in the philosophy of mind and cognitive science. His unwavering commitment to certain core tenets, coupled with his sharp intellect and distinctive writing style, ensured his continued influence. After a brief 2-year stint as a distinguished professor at the CUNY Graduate Center from 1986 to 1988, Fodor moved to Rutgers University, where he was appointed the State of New Jersey Professor of Philosophy and Cognitive Science. This was a pivotal move, as he remained at Rutgers until his retirement in 2016, ultimately becoming an emeritus professor. His presence significantly elevated the philosophy department at Rutgers, and he was instrumental in establishing the Rutgers University Center for Cognitive Science (RUCCS), fostering an environment for interdisciplinary research that bridged philosophy, psychology, and linguistics. Throughout his time at Rutgers, Fodor relentlessly defended and refined his central theories, particularly the representational theory of mind (RTM) and the language of thought lot hypothesis. He argued that mental processes are fundamentally computational, operating on internal, language-like representations mentales. He viewed this mentales as innate, a position that put him at odds with empiricist views of concept acquisition. Psychosemantics, The Problem of Meaning in the Philosophy of Mind 1987, this book delves into how mental representations acquire their meaning, a topic we touched on when discussing his asymmetric causal theory of reference. A Theory of Content and Other Essays 1990, a collection of essays further exploring his theories on mental content. A significant focus of his later work was the problem of psychosemantics, how these internal mental symbols acquire meaning and refer to the external world. This led him to develop the asymmetric causal theory of reference, a complex account aiming to explain how mental states hook onto the world. He also became a vocal critic of semantic holism, the idea that the meaning of a concept depends on its relationship with all other concepts in a system. He articulated his objections forcefully in Holism, A Shopper's Guide 1992, co-authored with his Rutgers colleague Ernest Lepore. Beyond these core philosophical debates, Fodor also became widely known for his critical engagement with evolutionary theory, specifically the explanatory power of natural selection when applied to the mind. He argued that natural selection, as traditionally conceived, might not be sufficient to explain the complexities of cognitive architecture. This culminated in his highly debated book, What Darwin Got Wrong 2010, co-authored with evolutionary biologist Massimo Piatelli Palmarini. This work, while provoking strong reactions, demonstrated Fodor's intellectual fearlessness and his willingness to challenge established scientific paradigms when he believed they fell short. Fodor was also recognized for his engaging and often humorous writing style, which made his complex philosophical arguments accessible to a wider audience. He frequently contributed columns to publications like the London Review of Books and delivered prestigious lectures, including the inaugural Jean Nicod Lectures in Paris in 1993, which were later published as The Elm and the Expert, Mentales and its Semantics 1995. The Mind Doesn't Work That Way, The Scope and Limits of Computational Psychology 2000, in this book, Fodor critically examines the limits of the computational theory of mind, arguing against certain widespread assumptions in cognitive science. Concepts, Where Cognitive Science Went Wrong 1998, here, Fodor presents a critique of theories of concepts that rely on internal structure, advocating for a more atomistic view of concepts. In Critical Condition, Polemical Essays on Cognitive Science and the Philosophy of Mind 1998, a collection of his more polemical and critical essays. Lot 2, The Language of Thought Revisited 2008, a later work where he revisited and updated his language of thought hypothesis. Minds Without Meanings, an essay on the content of concepts 2014 with Zenon PylysHyn, another later work that continues his exploration of the nature of concepts and their content. Hume Variations 2003, a book where Fodor engages with the work of David Hume. Even in his later years, Fodor remained an active participant in philosophical discourse, continuously refining his views and challenging his opponents to provide compelling alternatives to his framework. His legacy lies not only in the specific theories he championed, but also in his rigorous approach to philosophical inquiry, his unwavering commitment to mental realism, and his profound impact on shaping the very landscape of the philosophy of mind and cognitive science. He passed away in 2017, leaving behind a vast body of work that continues to be debated and studied today. Fodor, who is now a close friend, is a gentleman inside a burly body, and prone to an even bullier style of arguing. He is shy and voluble at the same time, a formidable polemicist burdened with a sensitive soul. Disagreeing with Jerry on a philosophical issue, especially one dear to his heart, can be a chastening experience. His quickness of mind, inventiveness, and sharp wit are not to be tangled with before your first cup of coffee in the morning. Adding Jerry Fodor to the faculty at Rutgers University instantly put it on the map, Fodor being by common consent the leading philosopher of mind in the world today. I had met him in England in the 70s and found him to be the genuine article, intellectually speaking, though we do not always see eye to eye. Colin McGinn 2002, The Making of a Philosopher. Philosophers who have wanted to banish the ghost from the machine have usually sought to do so by showing that truths about behavior can sometimes, and in some sense, logically implicate truths about mental states. In so doing, they have rather strongly suggested that the exorcism can be carried through only if such a logical connection can be made out. ONCE It has been made clear that the choice between dualism and behaviorism is not exhaustive. A major motivation for the defense of behaviorism is removed. We are not required to be behaviorists simply in order to avoid being dualists. Fodor 1986, Why Paramecia Don't Have Mental Representations, Midwest Studies in Philosophy 10, 3-23. Cited in Bradley Rives Jerry A. Fodor 1935, Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy, October 25, 2010. Here's a more concise list of Jerry Fodor's major awards and honors: Jean Nicod Prize 1993. John Locke Lectures 1996. Guggenheim Fellowship. Mind and Brain Prize 2005. Member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. President, Eastern Division of the American Philosophical Association 2005-2006. Woodrow Wilson Fellow. Fulbright Fellow. Fellow, Center for Advanced Study in the Behavioral Sciences. References: Fodor, Jerry 1981c. Propositional Attitudes. In Block, Ned ed. Readings in Philosophy of Psychology. The Language and Thought Series. Volume 2. Harvard University Press. Pages 45-63. doi 10.4159 Harvard.9780674594722. ISBN 978-0674594722. Pears, JMS. 2009. Marie-Jean-Pierre Flaurin 1794-1867 and Cortical Localization. European Neurology. 61.5, 311-314. doi 10.11590002068858. PMID 192952220. Freya, Gottlob 1892. Über Sinn und Bedeutung. Zeitschrift für Philosophie und Philosophiskritik. Trans. Ip. Senso e denotatione, in a bonomi, la struttura logica del linguaggio, Bompiani, Milan 1973, pp 9-32. Van Haeswijk, René 1998. No Darwin, therefore no Fodor. Theory and Psychology. 82, 269-277. doi 10.11770959354398082011. Kerr, P.B. Caputi, A.J. Horwitz, N.H. April 15, 2005. A History of Cerebral Localization. Neurosurgical Focus. 18.4, E1. doi 10.3171 FOC.2005.18.4.2. PMID 158444861. Hollander, Bernard 1920. In Search of the Soul, and the Mechanism of Thought, Emotion, and Conduct. Volume 1, Volume 2 London, Kegan Paul, Trench, Trubner & Co. Forbes, Peter January 29, 2010. Did Charles Darwin get it wrong? The Independent. Archived from the original on June 8, 2022. Retrieved July 11, 2014. Fodor, Jerry, Piatelli Palmerini, Massimo February 3, 2010. Survival of the Fittest Theory, Darwinism's Limits. New Scientist. Archived from the original on April 13, 2016. Retrieved February 8, 2025. In Memoriam, Jerry Fodor, The American Philosophical Association. www.apaonline.org. Archived from the original on September 26, 2020. Retrieved February 8, 2025. Coyne, Jerry March 19, 2010. Worst Science Journalism of the Year, Darwin completely wrong again. Why Evolution is True. Retrieved February 8, 2025. Coyne, Jerry A. April 22, 2010. The Improbability Pump. The Nation. ISSN 0027-8378. Retrieved February 8, 2025. Jacob, Pierre 1996. Review of Jerry Fodor's The Elm and the Expert. European Journal of Philosophy. 43, 373. Bach, Kent. Concepts, Where Cognitive Science Went Wrong. By Jerry A. Fodor Book Review. Archived from the original on November 5, 2016. Retrieved October 31, 2016. Lawrence, Stephen, Margulis, Eric 1997. Regress Arguments Against the Language of Thought. Analysis. 57-1, 60-66. Jaster 332-8435. The Language of Thought, Harvard University Press, 1975, ISBN 0-674-51030-5, pages 66-79. Rescore Law, Michael October 16, 2023. The Language of Thought Hypothesis, 6 Regress Objections to Loath. Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Retrieved February 9, 2025. Pustajevsky, J. 1995. The Generative Lexicon. MIT Press. Fodor, Jerry 1999. Doing Without What's Within, Fiona Cowie's Critique of Nativism. Rutgers University. Jaster 265-9831. Archived from the original on February 4, 2016. Retrieved February 9, 2025. Perry, John March 1994. Fodor and Lepore on Holism PDF. Philosophical Studies. 73 2-3, 123-138. doi 10.1007 BF01207661. ISSN 0031-8116. Jackson, Frank March 12, 2015. Minds Without Meanings, an essay on the content of concepts. Notre Dame Philosophical Reviews.
Mics on the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No light, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Hidden in shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go. Pure and raw. Pure and raw. Silence break, raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel.